Republican of the fine state of Ohio. I don't mean this disrespectfully, Senator, to the president, but what planet is he on if he thinks that we've rounded the bend or it's all a media fixation? The numbers are the numbers. The spikes are the spikes. Positive cases are the positive cases. The trend is the most alarming it's been since last spring. I could see maybe saying, all right, well, we'll turn this around, we'll make it better. But he is just whistling past the reality right now. To say we're rounding the bend, to say this is all a media fixation, I don't know. In his own White House, the vice president and his chief of staff, the people around him, they're all affected by this. So is that a proper thing for him to do and say?
Well, two things, Neil. One, I think he's referring to the therapies that are coming online that are pretty miraculous, and he got to experience one, and the vaccines, which are coming at unprecedented speed. So when he says things are getting better as those things come online, he's right. And I think every expert would agree with that they're going to be key to being able to stay open safely. If we get these vaccines and therapies in place more quickly, that's a good thing. And again, he's done it at a fast pace.
But
Second, what he ought to be saying, Neil,
minimizing. No. He is not talking about the average number of daily cases. He is not talking about the fact that the percentage of positive cases there, it's not all testing, has also gone up from roughly 5% to close to 6.5%.
Yeah.
He's not talking
about
that.
I'm saying, you're asking why he's saying.
No, I understand, Senator. But do you worry that he's giving some Americans some false confidence?
Well, look, we're in trouble. We're not out of the woods either on the economy or the healthcare crisis. What I think he ought to be saying, for what it's worth, is he is the one who has been most hawkish on trying to get a COVID-19 package through Congress. I mean, he even said a couple weeks ago, probably not every Senate Republican agrees with this, but I'm happy to put the money on the table that Nancy Pelosi is talking about. In fact, I would go even higher. So think about it. He's the one who's been saying, let's get a COVID-19 bill. Poor Steve Mnuchin, he's been up there negotiating with Nancy Pelosi endlessly. My view, as you know, Neil, is that she doesn't want a deal before the election. That's what he ought to be talking about, in my view, because he is the one saying, let's get the money for testing. Let's get the money for the tracing and for the therapies. And in fact, that's all in the bills that he's been supporting. Let's get the money for our schools. Let's help businesses to be able to reopen safely by giving them a tax incentive to do so.
I don't know where you stand on this, Senator, but isn't it Mitch McConnell
I stand on doing something.
Essentially saying no matter what they're coming up with, it's dead on arrival in the Senate because a lot of your colleagues, and Mr. McConnell was saying, aren't keen on spending this amount of money. So isn't the president's real problem not so much Nancy Pelosi as much as the Senate?
Well, but Neil, Nancy Pelosi refuses to move off the mark because she's not interested in compromise right now. The Senate Republicans put up a $500 billion bill on Wednesday, just a few days ago. $500 billion. That used to be real money. And it has all the things I just talked about. It has the school money, actually more than the HEROES Act initially had. It has the money for testing. It has the money for the vaccine. It has the money for small businesses. It was all in there. And Democrats refused to even take the vote to get on the legislation to debate it. In other words, they wouldn't provide the 60 votes. We got a majority. We got all the Republicans. We got a majority of the Senate to support it twice now. So that's what I think the president ought to be talking about, because a bunch of us up here as Republicans are trying to get something done.
Last week at this time, Senators, the president was saying last week at this time, make it bigger. I'm willing to go bigger. He seemed to allude, I'll go over $2 trillion if need be. Now, obviously, Mr. Collins, some of your colleagues, you were at that $500 billion figure, very generous package to your point. It didn't go anywhere. But the fact of the matter is now we might not get anything. Is it your sense now that who's ever to blame for that, things are going to get worse without any stimulus at all?
I think we'll do it. I think we'll do it after the election. I think it's unfortunate we're not doing it this week. That's what I wanted to do. I gave a speech on the floor last night about that very topic and laid out all the areas where we have common ground. It's amazing how similar we are in our approaches. By the way, we've already passed 5 COVID-19 packages. Most of them were unanimous. So we've been able to put politics aside. It's become a victim of the election year politics in the last couple of months. And so after the election, I think we're going to get together and figure this out. And we should, because there's actually some things we can do to help, both to deal with the virus, but also to deal with the economic realities that you talked about earlier with your guests. We're seeing the market react. We're also seeing a lot of small businesses in real trouble now. So we've got to do something to help get them through this next stage until we have that vaccine, until there are more reliable therapies on board. It's coming. But there is a period of time here where people need some additional help. And I think we'll do it. I think it'll happen after the election, but I think we'll do it.
Real quickly, I know the vote, for Judge Amy Barrett tonight in the Senate. It looks like it will just be Republicans voting so far. The only one I see, Susan Collins of Maine, I'm sorry, is the only one who will likely be a no. Is it your understanding that the vice president's going to be kept close by just in case he's needed?
Well, he won't be needed because I think we have 52 votes now. But it's too bad we don't have more because, as you know, she was confirmed recently, less than 3 years ago, to the Seventh Circuit with a bipartisan vote. She should get a bipartisan vote again. By the way, in normal times, anybody with her qualifications, with her incredible performance at the Judiciary Committee, where she showed a lot of judicial temperament, I thought, by being calm and patient, with her background where you've got people from across the political spectrum, from Notre Dame and people who've watched her in the court saying, hey, this woman is totally qualified and she should be on the court. So it's too bad she's not going to get more Democrat support or any Democrat support, it looks like. But in normal times, I think she would, and she'll be a great justice. So the vote will occur tonight, probably 7 or 8 o'clock, and she'll be confirmed to be on the Supreme Court to fill that vacancy.
Senator, thank you. To your point, these are not normal times, are they? Senator
Thanks,
Bob
Neil.
Portman, thank you very much.
Take care.
I know you've been working right through the weekend. Again, that vote, 7 or 8 o'clock tonight.